Hi and welcome to Student Sport Chat. My name's Anthony and today I'll be joined by David and Eddie. Now we've got a lot to get through today, but first things first, we must talk about the ongoing crisis at Rangers. Now yesterday the administrators announced that they urgently need to find a buyer for the club and they need to severely cut the wages or they won't be able to fulfil the remaining fixtures this season. They've already said that they're unlikely to feature in Europe next season already. David, the question on everyone's lip is what's going on?
To be honest, I don't think anybody knows what's going on. You know, the players are in the dark of their futures, don't know when they're going to get their contracts whipped up or not. Fans don't know if they're going to have a club soon. You know, it's just a complete mess and someone needs to sort it soon.
Who would you attribute blame to?
I think it's a mixture. You've got to blame David Murray, first of all. He was in charge of the club during the time with the EBTs. And of course Craig White, I mean, he was the one which in the end, under his ownership, they went into administration.
And Eddie, what do you think the final result will last be? What's the future hold for Rangers?
Right now it's looking as if liquidation is what's going to happen. A lot of the talk, we've still got the HMRC court ruling to come. They're in administration just now, but with the players haven't taken the cuts, so you know, where are they going to find this $3 million they're talking about till the end of the season? They're now talking, the administrators have come out and said they might not be able to fulfil their fixtures. They need a buyer. They set a deadline first of all of March the 16th. Now that's going to be, hopefully, they can get one before the end of this week. But if they don't, they're in trouble.
Can you see any other outcome than liquidation at this time?
At this time, no. Dave King, one of the directors of Rangers, he's said that he believes it's inevitable that they'll go into liquidation. So it's not looking good. It's not looking good. It's not looking good at all, actually. So.
Well, Rangers won't be playing this weekend because we're back to Scottish Cup action. On Saturday, Hearts face St Mirren, Ayr face Hibs, and on the Sunday we've got Dundee United versus Celtic and Aberdeen versus Motherwell in the quarter-finals. Guys, how do you see this going on, Eddie? What do you think will happen in the Scottish Cup this weekend?
Well, there's a lot of sort of close games, I think. Even Ayr United against Hibernian. Hibs aren't doing so well in the SPL. Ayr seem to be the cup specialists right now. And Celtic Dundee United again. Cup, anything can happen. Dundee United,
good form.
Good form. They won the Scottish Cup recently as well. So, you know, it's all to play for.
And what about yourself, Dave? Who do you think will end up winning the cup? Do you have Celtic firm favourites?
I wouldn't say firm favourites. I think the game on Sunday against Dundee United's a huge one, especially for the treble. Dundee United on good form. Celtic are playing miles better than they did against Aberdeen because they were pretty poor. So if they play better and play to where they have been, then I think Celtic will win.
You mentioned the treble there. Do you think that's realistic for Celtic this season?
I think at the moment it is. You know, the league's nearly there in the bag. They've got the big cup final next Sunday against Kilmarnock, which is going to be a tough game. Kilmarnock are a good side. And the Dundee United game, I think, is probably going to be the pivotal one for the treble.
Biggest test.
I think it will be the biggest test.
Last night we've seen a return to the Champions League, and there was two major talking points. First of all, Apoel Nicosia of Cyprus defeating Lyon to reach the quarter-finals for the very first time. But the main story has to be that man Lionel Messi scoring an incredible 5 goals, a Champions League record, as Barcelona defeated Bayer Leverkusen 7-1. Guys, Messi, talk to him about him, Eddie. Is he the best player ever?
Unbelievable. As I say, it's different generations. People would say maybe Pele, people would say Zidane, Ronaldinho even recently as well, but Messi is a different world. Absolutely different class.
And last night, David, just how good were Barcelona last night? Because Bayer Leverkusen, you know, they're a good side. They beat Bayern Munich 2-0 at the weekend.
Oh, they were just fantastic. To be honest, I don't think they were the best, to be honest. I think they could have played miles better.
It's a frightening
But man,
prospect.
to win 7-1,
Yeah.
it's just extraordinary.
And Eddie, Apoel Nicosia, who's seen that coming?
Doing well, yeah, doing very, very well. Lyon, perhaps not the strongest they've ever been, but Nicosia, they're in the quarter-final of the Champions League. Small side, Cypriot side, you wouldn't expect that. Nobody's really ever heard of them before. I don't think I could name any of their players. So, doing very well, and we'll see who's next to them.
How far do you think they can go realistically? Is it just depending on the draw?
Well, say they could maybe take another giant killing again. just depends how well they play and how well the other teams play, you know.
David, does a team from Cyprus reaching the quarter-finals, the Champions League, does that give hope to Scottish football and Scottish clubs? I know obviously Rangers are going through a bad time and this season we had a terrible run in Europe, but does it give hope that a country like Cyprus can have, you know, a participant in the quarter-finals? Does that bode well for the future?
I think it does bode well for the future, because I think you look at the Celtic squad, I'm pretty sure that it's more money that they've spent to assemble that squad than the APL and Nicosia. You can't see them spending huge amounts of money, and they've still got to the quarterfinals in the Champions League. It's a great achievement, and they've got nothing to lose now, and they've overachieved, and you never know, they could maybe get to the semi-finals.
Absolutely. Well, tonight we see the return to the Europa League, with Manchester United facing Athletic Bilbao and Manchester City travelling to Portugal to face Sporting Lisbon. Eddie, how do you think they'll get on tonight?
I think both Manchester teams will win. Bilbao, they're a strong team. They've got Llorente up front, who's always a danger. They've got good midfield. They play good passing football, and you know they are a threat. But Manchester United, if Sir Alex puts out his strongest squad, should be able to take care of Bilbao. Man City away in Portugal. Sporting Lisbon aren't as strong as Benfica or Porto at the minute, but you know they are always a threat. So, but I think Manchester City should be able to do the job over 2 legs.
And David, do you think both Manchester clubs are they taking this competition seriously, or do their priorities lie elsewhere?
I think in the last round they both put really strong teams. I think whether as we get further to the title race, whether that will continue, I doubt. I think they will prioritise on the Premier League title. That's the main aim, to try and be champions of England, especially for Manchester United. Man City might not get a better chance this season.
Sure. And Eddie, who's your tip for the Europa League this season?
Well, it depends who. I think it's out of the Manchester clubs really. Depends who takes the competition more seriously. You know that can have a bearing on how seriously they're taking the Premier League. Manchester City are doing the best they've sort of ever really done in the Premier League, so their best chance of winning it as well. But United never won the Europa League, UEFA Cup, so it's a chance for them as well. So I think maybe Manchester United for that.
What about yourself, David?
I would go from Manchester United, I think, at the moment. I think they are the favourites, but there's a lot of good teams out there. Atletico Madrid are still there. So there's Schalke as well, did well, got the Champions League semi-finals, so it's anyone's title.
Be great to see a Manchester derby in the Europa League final.
Would be, yeah.
Well, unfortunately that's all we've got time for this week. Thanks to Eddie and David for joining us. Thanks for watching. Bye now.